So we're going to jump right into it. Our luxury presentation kits are amazing. We have a nice custom folder for all those print guru people that are out there. Just to give you an idea on the specs on the paper, we're running this on a 110-pound cover, satin cover. We also put a matte laminate on here as well, so we could avoid fingerprints and also create longevity more for the folder itself. You'll notice also on top of the folder, I have a QR code, and that QR code kind of goes to the agent's website. So I'm hoping that, if they wanted more information, they could scan on that. And then when they scan on that, that's really to get started. And we also have, when you open this folder, generally there's a business card that you could stick in there. And also there's an agent bio sheet that you kind of see here today. When you flip this sheet, it's really about promoting not just you and the community, but also here is my agent profile. Here is what I've done, and here's my track record, and this is what a lot of people know us for. Now, also, this custom folder is what we call capacity folder. So there's about, I want to say 3/4 of an inch of the folder, so that way you can stick more marketing materials in there. Obviously, we have 4 sections and tabs on here as well. Now, once you actually look inside this listing presentation, we have what I call the marketing guides and the buyer guides. You guys are really familiar with that. I think most agents have this. I would argue that a lot of the content that we have on here, I would say 80% has been reviewed by other agents in the industry. So they looked at the content. We try to templatize it. So that way, at least we've done 80%, 90% of the work. And all you have to do is, if you want to make the edits, if you want to add changes on there, you can. The template is easily set up that way. And also you have to insert your information about like your photo, your contact information, and things like that. So we try to make it as easy as possible. You can also just edit the copy too. If you want to get to the macro level and talk about maybe a specific process or maybe a program that you have, you're welcome to insert that copy, right? So we're trying to reduce the amount of work just so that you have more of the marketing pieces and the traditional sales process kind of in place for some of this stuff. Now, again, like a lot of these brochures and the booklets that we create, obviously these are going to be printed on a 110-pound cover, matte laminate on a cover. There's going to be holographic foil on there as well. And as you flip through these pages, these are all what we call oblong style panoramic brochures. I think it's probably the best type of form factor, at least for this type of folder, whatever the case is. I actually like it because I like the landscape route. I think that there's a lot more coverage that you could put in there, and it doesn't feel a little bit more smaller, like the portrait types of booklets that you kind of see out there today. So that you're gonna have a tab for this, and obviously there's different types of tabs in here. Again, these are all guides and default text that you could always change. So if you have a marketing plan or your listing presentation involves other sections, the template is all set up where you can actually do that as well. Now, this booklet here, I really like. It's our before and after booklet. I can't stress enough about how many people want to be involved and want to be associated with people who are actually listing homes and selling homes and doing and going the extra mile when it comes to this stuff. So many agents have testimonials on Zillow. It's just buried away. And you got to take advantage of that. Put that into these before and after booklets where you talk to the homeowner, or at least put it visually on here where, you leverage that testimonial, you leverage that recommendation, and why not show people that, hey, here's my before and after booklet, here's what I've done, and here's what the seller or the prospective buyer actually said about my services and things like that, right? So it's a great way to validate your experience. And I think a lot of people want to hear from your past clients about what your success rate was, what did you actually do to promote that home, what was the marketing strategy, and so on and so forth. So that's a big deal. Also, I love to show the postcards, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of our 3D varnish and things like that. As you can see, just from looking at the 3D varnish, it has pretty good visual appeal. If you haven't seen this in person, you're going to want to touch this piece. And then also just leveraging the foil. Again, we're using holographic foil. I like the holographic foil. I think like the gold foil, I think it's great. I think the silver foil is great. I just like the holographic foil just because if you angle it at a certain light, you're going to get different colors, and people are just attracted to those colors. Anything that is a little bit different, people are going to love that. It also feels like it has a very like silver chrome look to it, if that makes sense. So we also have these trifold brochures. These trifold property brochures are pretty nice. Same thing. We print this on 110 cover. You guys are going to hear me talk about that a lot because that is our house stock. I think it's probably one of our better stocks that we use. And it's pretty heavy. We use a 3mm matte laminate. So it's going to even feel a little bit thicker than you would normally think about that paper stock. So if you're thinking about points as with regards to paper, yeah, it's probably about 13, 14 point. But once you add the 3mm laminate on there, it feels more like it's 16 point, which is pretty cool. It feels a lot thicker as well. You'll notice too that our brochures, at least for the trifold that we have here, is basically our flood varnish that we put on the photos. So take advantage of this because this is what's going to separate some of your marketing pieces. All the pieces that I generally see from a lot of agents is just regular CMYK print. I think it's great. It's a great start. But if you're thinking about leveling up, then I think something like this might work a little bit better. So as you can see, once you assemble this whole package, it's ready to go, and you should have this thing ready. That way, if you get a listing opportunity, a listing appointment, you could just jump on an MLS, let's pull some comps, and let's print it, stuff it in the back, and you're kind of ready to go. So happy listing, you guys. Try this listing presentation out. Love to hear from you guys, and we'll be back for the next video.